Welcome back to another video, and we're also going to be trying some new skincare. Well, one of them's new. Today's skincare, I want to test out the newest e.l.f. Thirst Burst Pore-fecting Toner. And then this right here is a Thirst Burst Drops. And this I got last year, and I absolutely love this. And then this year they came out with this toner, which I'm super excited about, and we're going to be testing out on the face today. And we're going to be playing with my newest palette. This is a Beauty Bay Neutrals palette, and this palette is so stunning. This has 42 gorgeous neutrals in here. And I really like that they threw in a couple of pink, like pinky, mauve kind of colors. Like you have this like deep red color here, and then you have the pink, the purple. This is just absolutely beautiful. And we're going to be doing a random number generator to pick out all of the shades. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we picked out some shades here. The first one is Fizz, which is number 23, 40, which is Bean, 35, Coffee, 30, Mauve, and 32, Tender. And these two shades are very similar, so I might mix them. But I have to think of how I want to do this. Yeah, these are really similar. Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna do. So we might end up mixing these two. We'll see how it goes, but obviously to get started, we need to do the face. I actually already went in with a micellar cleansing water, and I just kind of cleansed my face a little bit. I did have some residue from my makeup. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take that off now because I still see some mascara from the other day. And the makeup remover I'm using is the McoBeauty oil-free makeup remover. I really love this stuff. It's only like $4 a bottle. It's kind of small, but it lasts me a long time. So we're going to be taking another cotton round, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and get into this. I guess today is going to be like a super moisturizing skincare routine. So we're going to be taking the Thirst Burst Drops. And we're just going to put that all over my face. Ooh. This is interesting. Kind of has like a... how do I explain it? Almost like a jelly-ish texture. I'm gonna go ahead and put some on my hands. Or maybe it's like a serum texture. It is really, really nice. So yeah, it definitely feels like a serum. Not jelly, but definitely a serum. It is so hydrating. Holy cow. It's kind of, I would say this is thicker than a regular toner. So we're going to go ahead and let that sink into the skin. But oh my gosh, that feels so nice. Like I felt the moisturizing effects instantly. And I have my little Dollar Tree fan over here. But this is such a nice toner. It doesn't make my face feel sticky at all upon drying. And my skin definitely does have a glow to it. I'm going to be wearing this Thirst Burst Drops as a serum today, and then I am going to be putting on my Neutrogena moisturizer. And I could wear like my Dollar Tree skincare, but I want to see how this wears with my regular skincare. Normally when I film my makeup tutorials, I use strictly like all like Dollar Tree products. That way I can kind of like review them at the same time. But we're just going to be taking my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Cream, and this I use a couple times a week. It's one of my all-time favorite moisturizers, especially like in the summertime. And honestly, my skin needs like a super pampering like moment, because for a week straight, I haven't really been wearing makeup. And I don't know, I just haven't really been like consistent with my skincare. So my skin's kind of like struggling right now. Doesn't look like it, but I was having like some texture problems, and I know I was definitely like dehydrated. Or at least like my skin was dehydrated. So now that I have on that Neutrogena Water Boost, we're just gonna go ahead and let this dry. So right now, my skin feels so moisturized. Like, it feels as if I just got out of a spa. Like, it feels really, really plump right now, and I love it. It's actually kind of hot in this bedroom. I'm gonna have to turn on my little AC in here. I think my lamp and then the lights back here make this room really hot, and then obviously the ring light. I hope you guys don't mind the AC sounds. So I have my little Bucky's cup here with some water. Okay, so my skin is seriously so freaking dewy, and it looks so healthy right now. And it feels like so moisturized. I'm obsessed with this. So I think this is gonna be literally like my go-to routine this summer. It's definitely kind of like so I have, okay. So this combination right here is definitely a really rich combination. It makes my skin look and feel really healthy. I wouldn't necessarily wear these three together every single day, but I could see myself doing this a couple times a week whenever I need something like really hydrating. But I love how my skin feels right now. And you know, these drops are gonna be my holy grail. These are gonna be like my everything. I know this is like my first day wearing it, but this stuff, like, you can see the difference with just one use. And I am completely obsessed with it. So go ahead and pick yourself up a bottle of this toner. This is just amazing. This is the Dollar Tree Ioni eyeshadow primer. And this eyeshadow primer is more sheer. Because I'm going to be wearing more of a neutral look, I don't really want to have like a white cast. So we're going to be taking this shade right here in Coffee. And I'm going to be putting that shade right in the crease. This is going to be like my base shade. And I need to use like my actual crease shade. This is the one that I enjoy using. It's like a lot smaller. This is a really interesting shade. It's more of like a light brown slash mauve color, but then when you put it on the lids, it looks kind of pink. Really pretty. I'm kind of like alternating brushes, but I mainly use the crease brush because this one's kind of like a floofier brush, but I really want to get that color in. We're going to be applying this shade right here in Tender. And this one is kind of like a lighter version of that coffee shade. And I guess we're going to be mixing the two. And I don't normally talk about my makeup brushes, but the brush I'm using right now is from a Sonia Kashuk collection. This brush is 1,000,000 years old. I don't know how long I've had it. I've had it for like maybe 8 years or something. But Sonia Kashuk is literally one of my favorite makeup brush brands out there. I'm going to be going back in with that shade in Tender with this brush, and I'm going to kind of pack in that color just to kind of fully coat the lids. But yeah, I had a subscriber of mine ask about what brushes I use. And the only three brush brands in my collection are Sonia Kashuk, Wet n Wild, and Real Techniques. So we have 3 more shades to go, and I am thinking, I don't know what to do. I feel like, okay, I kind of have a unique-ish idea. We have the shade Mauve, Fizz, and Bean. And what I'm thinking is maybe I could take the shimmery shade and put it on the lids and then use that darker black color as like an outer corner shade, and then that lighter mauve shade, maybe I could put it in the inner corners, and maybe under the eyelids. I am not sure. Kind of a hard one. The shimmer's gonna have to go on the lids. So I'm gonna be taking my Wet n Wild brush. This one right here, I'm definitely gonna have to start replacing because I hand glued it like 2 years ago and it's already starting to crack again, so I need to get a new one. So we're gonna be taking my eyeshadow brush, and I think I'm gonna be putting this Fizz shade on the lids. But I'm actually going to be putting that over here. And then we're going to be leaving that inner corner bare. I think that's where I'm going to put that lighter shade. I'm just kind of like tapping in those shimmers. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. These are absolutely stunning. So then going in with a flat brush, I'm going to be taking this shade right here in mauve. And this is kind of like a soft lilac-y color. And I'm going to be putting that on the inner corner. Oh my god, I love that. So, mini story time. Yesterday, me and my husband went walking at 2 in the morning. We ate dinner like around like 9ish, and then we chilled for a little bit, and I was like, wait a second, we never took our daily walk. And it was around 2 a.m. He was playing video games, I was editing a YouTube video, and we didn't really want to go to bed yet. And I thought, okay, we need to take our walk now. It's cooler. Let's take advantage of that. So, and yeah, like every day, especially like this year, we've been making an effort to take at least like 30 minutes a day. Sometimes we'll go out to one of the parks and walk. We end up doing like 7,000 to 10,000 steps. But anyway, so we end up going out around 2:30. As we were walking, and we walk around like our neighborhood. As we were walking, there's like this like street light over our house, and that's like the only street light on this like side of the neighborhood, and it basically lights up everything. There are a couple of neighbors of ours that they were already up, because you can see like they had like all their lights on and everything, so the street was pretty lit up, right? And as we were walking, the lights started flickering, and I'm like, okay, that almost never happened. That's so weird. And then it happened again, and then all of a sudden total darkness, and I'm just like, okay, that's weird that the lights go out. Cause you know, like you get like used to something, and then like you notice something missing. Um, Maybe I'm just like mentally slow or something. But I was like, did the power go out like in the whole neighborhood? Doesn't it seem dark to you? And he's like, yeah, that's weird. So we end up going back in the house. The power shut off, like completely. All throughout the neighborhood, and then like across from us, no lights. It was like absolute darkness. And there wasn't any like bad weather. There wasn't anything like any kind of things like that. So then we end up walking, and at this point we end up just having like our phone flashlights on. And I'm gonna go ahead and resume the other eye, but we end up having just our phone flashlights on. And I was like, this is kind of creepy. It was just pure darkness. And we just put a timer on our phone, decided to walk. And it was about 10 minutes in that Trevor kept looking back, like looking behind him, and then we were like in mid conversation, and he kind of pointed the flashlight like into the darkness. I'm like, what's going on? Like, are you hearing something? Because like, as you guys know, I am actually hard of hearing. I am technically supposed to be wearing hearing aids, but I can't really hear that well when it comes to certain things. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm just like looking, making sure, everything is good. Because we still had like the light from the moon, so it wasn't like a total blackout, like wilderness blackout. Obviously, we wouldn't be walking if that were the case. But yeah, I'm like, we're just kind of talking about random things. And then it's really weird. I don't know what it was, but I started hearing footsteps like right behind me, and to the point where I had to turn around. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Um, and then it happened again, and that's when I actually freaked out. At first, I thought it was like an animal or something. Like, I don't know. Um, Again, this was at 2:30 in the morning, so most of the people in our neighborhood were sleeping. And then when you get to the end of our neighborhood, there is like the main little, I guess like you can call it like back roads or something. I don't know, like a street. So there wasn't really a lot of people out, right? And whenever we walk at night, especially around like summertime, we have to be careful because there's a lot of like javelina and coyote in our neighborhood. There's also a lot of like stray cats and occasionally stray dogs. So we're always like on the lookout. Oh yeah, and there's raccoons who get into, who get into the neighbors' like houses. So I ended up kind of getting a little bit nervous because I heard footsteps behind me and I was like, that's a little weird. And then, we're continuing on, 10 minutes pass by, and all of a sudden, Trevor stops walking and he pans his flashlight behind us. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Why do you keep doing that? Do you hear something? And he's like, I thought I heard something. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go inside. You're starting to freak me out. I'm already getting like freaked out by this like 2 a.m. random blackouts. So, yeah, that's what happened. And I had to go to the bathroom and I had my husband follow me so I can see what I'm doing, like find the toilet paper and everything. And at this point, it had been an hour since the blackout happened. And I was thinking, God, like I kind of wanted to like charge my phone. Like I had like 3% battery on my phone. And my normal night routine is to sit on my bed and watch YouTube videos as I fall asleep and everything. I have like this whole bedroom routine, right? And I couldn't really do that, so I kind of felt like off, like great, what am I gonna do now? How am I gonna like fall asleep? And I end up going to the bathroom. I'm like, you know what? I have like 75 candles. This is perfect. So I end up lighting the candle and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I could read something to fall asleep, or I don't know, do something. I mean, my phone's gonna die in about an hour. And yeah, like my candle collection here definitely comes in handy for blackouts especially. And I don't know what it is, but like I was like washing my hands and doing like my bedroom routine, like in the darkness with just like a lit candle. And I was like envisioning like I started like envisioning like in my head like what things were like for people back in the day when they didn't have electricity. And I don't know what it was. Like it just felt like so different. It also kind of reminded me of being like a child in the summertime during like the monsoon in the 90s, when the monsoons used to be like really, really bad and electricity would go out like all the time. Yeah, like I remember back then, like weather around the 90s when I was like, I don't know, 6 to like 12 years old, they used to be super intense. And at one point, there was like a bad thunderstorm. I know I'm getting off topic here, but at one point, there was a bad thunderstorm, like a really bad monsoon moment. And it was so intense that my mom had me and my brother and her go into the tub and stay there for like an hour. And I remember being like really scared at the time. For some reason, I started thinking about that. I don't know why my brain, it just like thinks about random things. And I was like kind of like freaked out. Like I was probably doing it to myself, and honestly, earlier I was listening to a podcast called Two Girls, One Ghost, which is, you know what, if you haven't heard of that podcast, I'm not sponsored to say this, but it's absolutely amazing. I I love like that podcast. I was listening to that like in the morning, and maybe like that's what freaked me out is I had that in the back of my brain. But I just kind of felt a little bit creeped out like most of the night. And all of a sudden at 3 a.m. the power turned back on and it was completely normal. And I said to my husband, wow, like it felt like days the electricity was out. Like that's how crazy it got. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like maybe I rely too much on my phone or, you know, the electricity that I just sometimes you take things for granted, but I don't know. But yeah, that's just kind of like what happened to us last night. I try to resume my makeup, but I can't really talk and do things at the same time. But we're going to be taking in this shade here. And this is kind of like a shimmery black shade. And we're going to be applying that to the outer corners. And I'm just going to be tapping in that shade. And then we're going to be blending that. And honestly, I should have put this on first. We're gonna have to go back in and reapply that shimmery shade again. So this makeup look is so beautiful. But yeah, that's just our little story time. Let me know what you guys do during a blackout. Like, what is your, like, I don't know, do you guys, like, go to sleep during a blackout, or do you, like, what do you do if you don't have your phone on you? Yeah, and then later we went on our provider's website, our electricity supplier, and it said that over 1,300 people were affected by that blackout, which is kind of a lot in our area. So there was like several street lights that were completely out, which is kind of strange. And the blackouts don't really happen as often. So I don't know. And so with my fingertips, I'm gonna go back in with that mauve shade and just apply more color. And then we're gonna be applying that shimmery shade again. And just tap that on. And I painted my nails a few days ago, by the way. I painted them pink and green, and this is actually inspired by the 2000s. I was on TikTok and there's this like on TikTok the other day, and there was this like vintage, I don't know what you call those channels, it's like aesthetic style videos or whatever. where they take a picture from the past and they like add several other pictures to match like that aesthetic. But I found pictures of like an old 90s girls' room, and I just got inspired to make my nails that way. And I'm just taking in my brush to just pack in that shimmer. And you know what? I'm kind of packing on a lot of eyeshadow here, but I feel like I need to go back in and fill in this part right here. So we're going to be taking the flat brush again, and we're going to be going into the shade Bean and just pack that color in. And then with the other side, I'm going to lightly blend this section. And then around 6 o'clock today, I peeked outside, and one side of the house, like in my backyard area, is completely like stormy looking, and then the front side of the house is like a clear blue sky. So I wonder if we're gonna get a storm tonight. Hopefully not while I'm filming, because that would suck. But it's getting kind of windy tonight. You guys probably won't hear it because I have like my AC on, but we're gonna be applying the rest of the makeup, the foundation, the bronzer, all of that, and then we'll be back for under the eyes. Alright, so I'm wearing my foundation mix CoverGirl Huda Beauty Elf. And then I also added a little bit of my McoBeauty Flawless Glow. And then for my bronzer today, for my cream bronzer, I'm wearing the LA Color Sculpting Duo bronzer, and then, whoa. And then I'm going to be applying the powder once I put on my powder. This lid completely came off. But once I'm going to be applying the powder once I get done setting my makeup. And then I am wearing my concealer. And then for my cheeks today, I am going in with my jelly blush. And I'm just kind of applying it. Kind of building it up right now. This is a really pretty jelly blush. I wanted to bring out more of like a purplish tone to the cheeks. And then I'm actually wearing the Be Pure bronzer drops, and I actually put that over the cream bronzer to give myself a little bit of a bronzy glow. And this I got from Dollar Tree. And then we're going to be setting all of that. And this is the McoBeauty Miracle Flawless Pressed Powder. And of course, everything will be listed down below. And then I'm going to go in with the LA Colors Powder Bronzer. And then going in again with that mauve shade, we are going to be applying that to the inner corners. And I'm going to be dragging it down to the lower lash line. And I think I'm going to go in halfway with this. And I think for the rest of the under eye, I'm going to be going in with that shade in Tender. And then I'm going to slightly blend in those colors. This is kind of like my everyday black eyeliner, 651 Black. For my mascara, we're wearing the Maybelline Waterproof Bubble Mascara, which I absolutely love. I have about 2 coats of this on. So beautiful. And then for my lips, we're wearing the LA Colors Romance Lip Crayon. And then over that, I'm wearing the Remi Rose Glitter Gloss, and both are from Dollar Tree. This one has been discontinued. I got this at Dollar Tree a long time ago. It is called a glitter gloss, but I don't really see any glitter when I wear it. But yeah, I need to use this up, so I'm just wearing that on the top, and I'm wearing my AOA Studio highlighter all over the face. And this is the completed look. And let's take a moment to talk about the eyes. These eyes are absolutely stunning. So this is like my third Beauty Bay palette. These are just absolutely stunning colors. I feel like this look is such a beautiful, kind of like a spring neutral. And you know what? You could definitely create some summer makeup looks with this palette using the lighter colors. I might end up doing a video. That might be a next video. Maybe we can do, maybe I can actually like choose some summery colors with this look. Because neutral, obviously you can wear neutral every single day, but this look is so, it's kind of screaming fall, but it's also screaming summer with like that like pastel and like that middle shade. This middle shade right here, Fizz, it kind of has like a beautiful, kind of gives off like an orange color, but it's definitely not orange. It's like a, I guess like a rosy color. but I think it's absolutely beautiful. It makes such a good middle shade lid. And obviously this lilac shade is absolutely stunning. And I'm actually already getting more makeup ideas as I'm going through these shades. I definitely want to do a video where I just use just like the purples in here. And then maybe we can make a look using, I don't know, like we can make like a smoky look with this. I'm already getting a ton of ideas. But let me know what kind of video you want me to do with this palette next. Or do you like when I kind of randomize a makeup look like I did today? Let me know in the comments. I love talking to you guys. I love when you guys leave comments. Yeah, just like let me know. So I freaking love this palette. This is gorgeous. I am so glad I have this in my collection now. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this year. We can even create some fall makeup looks with this. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching my video. As always, thank you so much for supporting my channel. As of right now, I have 184 subscribers now on my YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy. Like, I know it's not like a super huge number compared to other people, but I remember when I had just 60 subscribers. And as always, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for all your kind comments on my videos. I really love doing YouTube. I feel like it's just such a fun little, it's such a fun little corner of the internet where I can just sit and play with makeup with you guys, talk about makeup and beauty. Like, makeup has been like my like hobby, I guess, for so many years, and I'm still like in shock that I'm actually doing YouTube, because like in real life I'm actually such like a shy sometimes antisocial person. But after having a YouTube channel for a year and a half now, it definitely kind of like brings me out of my shell more. Why did that sound weird? Brings me out of my shell more. I don't know. I feel like I said that weird. But it definitely brings me out of my little turtle shell. I've actually been struggling with social anxiety for such a long time. Like my whole life, actually. So it's like hard to do like people things, like talk to people, or you know, like if you have social anxiety, if you're like born with it, I guess, it can get kind of like intimidating to even talk to people. I'm also kind of an introvert, so there are times when I just don't want to do anything like people that day. Like where I just want to stay at home and just like not talk to anyone except for my husband. I do definitely have hermit tendencies, but I don't know. For some reason, this just feels different. Maybe it's easier because I'm behind a camera and I'm like talking to my phone and I'm like by myself, surrounded by my makeup products. Maybe that's why I can do this. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So, yeah, as you know, I'm definitely like a socially anxious person in real life. And when I had two videos that recently got like surpassed 500 views. And I told my husband, like, that's honestly like the most views I've ever gotten on my channel so far. And I was talking to my husband, I was like, babe, what happens if I did like get 1,000 subscribers or even 500 subscribers? Like, that's like 500 or 1,000 or 2,000, 3,000 people like watching me. Like people consuming my content, like choosing to view my videos and all that. And I was like, that's just kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, It's very weird. Like, so, you know, social anxiety is kind of weird, and it kind of makes you think about like if you were to put all of my 186 people in one room, first of all, that's a lot of people. So just like picturing that, 500 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people. What about the YouTubers who have like 8.6 million followers? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't want to even imagine how I would go about life if that was me. And if I'm being honest, and this is not me being super negative, but I have a bunch of eyeshadow on my shirt. But this is not me being negative at all, but I don't know, like, can you imagine if my channel got to 8.6 million? I don't think it will. I feel like being a beauty guru, I mean, I feel weird calling myself like a beauty guru, but like in general, like when you compare like this channel to other beauty channels or whatever, I don't think I could ever reach that amount of subscribers. And it's not that I'm like negative at all. It's just I feel like I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know, like maybe I am being negative, maybe it is me, but I just don't envision myself ever reaching to like that level of like high status. Not because I don't think I deserve it, but because I'm not really like, I don't know, I don't really have like an exciting life, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but maybe I'm just like not as exciting or something. Does that sound like bad to say? Is that negative? I'm not trying to be negative, and I'm not trying to be down myself, but I'm just like I just like kind of picture like where this YouTube channel is gonna go. That's just like my honest like thought as of right now. And this channel does get monetized. I actually had a subscriber of mine ask, I will become monetized once I hit 1,000 subscribers and get like 4,000 watch time hours. Right now my numbers are right here. So anytime you guys comment, like a video, have my videos play in the background, every little bit of those minutes count towards my watch time hours. And obviously this is for like any YouTuber really. So when you watch like a YouTuber's videos, when you have it on in the background, it counts towards that high amount of number. And I think each month you have to maintain those hours. I have to do more research on that, but every little bit counts, and I appreciate you guys who are watching my content, finding time out of your day to leave a comment and like talk to me and everything. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, that's everything, and I had so much fun playing with this makeup palette. I am obsessed with Beauty Bay. I want to get more palettes in the future. But this is just stunning. I have fun talking with you guys and creating makeup looks. So if you want to see more, go ahead and leave a comment or an emoji in the description. In the comment section. Everything I used today will be in my description. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to drink water, stay hydrated. Remember to be kind to people. Don't be mean. Don't be like an asshole. Don't be, any of those things. Be kind to people. Be kind to yourself. Do we need a little Neptune moment right now? I think we do. And then I have my husband here. He brought in Mrs. Neptune. How are you gonna be today, Neptune? Are you gonna be calm? Oh, she's purring. Here is little Mrs. Neptune. Look at how cute she is. She's so big. She's like grown this like past few years. When did we get her? 2024?
Yeah.
So, oh my god, she's almost 2 years old.
Yep.
She's not a little baby anymore. Oh my god. So, look at her coloring. Look at how orange she is. She didn't have this amount of orange. Look at that. She's like becoming such a beautiful little girl, and I love her. Look at how beautiful she is. But as always, make sure don't do this right now. As always, make sure you're kind of people. Make sure you give your cats a big hug from me. And make sure you go hug your animals. And oh, you shaved today. I didn't know you shaved. It looks pretty good.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so cute. And she kind of has a little bit of sassitude going on. But she knows the drill. Look at her feet, babe. She's about ready to pounce. But she knows the drill. She knows that she is a little mascot for this channel. Aren't you? So she looks like kind of irritated, but she's purring right now because I can feel her throat vibrating. And look at her dainty little paw. Look at those claws. You see that? She's about ready to pounce. Or ready to strike. But thank you so much for watching my video today, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.